banging. Alright. Here I thought I was all that. And what happens? I'm not all that. No matter how much you prepare, there's always something you forget. That is done. You go away. Oh, good Lord. Look at all these people messages. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I can't message you now. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Oh, go away. All right. So, did you guys see my video earlier of my floor? I was so thrilled. There I am. I had a floor, or part of a floor, I should say. So, but it's going crazy. So, what I didn't show you, that's not right too, is that they, whoops, when they were banging on the ceiling, the lights in the ceiling down in the kitchen, when they were banging on the floor, the lights in the ceiling in the kitchen started coming down. I'm like, hello. So I showed the Wyatt. I said, just to show you. So, God, I think I got lipstick on my teeth. And so I showed the one guy, and he's like, oh, we'll fix that. I was like, yeah, you're going to fix it. Because I'm not going to fix it. And later on, I heard the sound, and of course I come, one light's on the floor again, and I told him, I said, go look in the kitchen. And he looked, he goes, oh, is it broke? I said, I haven't touched it. Haven't touched it. Craziness today. Welcome to NonnasNuttykrafts. Nonnas Nut House today. I had my granddaughter late this afternoon. So, although I was trying to get some things done, she didn't leave till later, because she wound up having dinner and she takes forever. So, today, before I even start this, okay, I got two things. Two things I want to show you. So I just opened the box because I never read the labels. I'm such a dork sometimes. So this came from Barb's Country Creations. God, I swear I got something on my tooth. Look, I can use that something later. I ordered, it's like a royal blue tubing and a white tubing. Because I had some white, but I used it all up. So I got these from, like I said, Barb's Country Creations. That's her website. Then I got, ooh, these are cute. Oops. There's two different types in here. Hold on. A little tangly. So I got these, and these are picks. Please say, if you cannot see these, let me know. Oh, I got the box in my way. I can't even see if you can see them. Am I holding them up too high? There we go. So these, is this comment thing going to happen all the time? Oh my God, it is. Hi Stacy, hi Barb, hi Virginia, hi Deb, hey Jacqueline, hey Mary, Susie, you better stay on. See this little contraption over here, Miss Susie Brown? We're going to be using that tonight. What is with this comments? Hello. Yes, I am, Miss Wonderful Monday. Yes, it is. Hey, if anybody has anything to tell me why these comments keep, like I have to keep pressing them all of a sudden on this, please let me know. Thanks, Virginia. Hey, Anna. Hey, Donna. So, because this is driving me nutso. And it just started doing this on the last thing, and I have to keep tapping it. I think computer's going to be migrating. So, these are red, white, and blue stars. Oh, my God. This is going to drive me crazy. Hey, Donna. That I got some picks. There's some like a bigger star and a little star. So I got a perfect wreath for this. I'm hoping to find the other piece that I want for it. I have to go searching a little bit, but I'm trying to the house. Then I got some of these. These are those little ball picks kind of thing. So I got some of those. Red, white, and blue. I think I got 4 of these. And then, whoops. I got some yellow and white stripe. And again, this all comes from Barb's Country Creations. I try to write Barb's Country Creations. Create. Short breathing. I don't feel like writing all the words. And I got my Until All the Pieces Fit autism wreath. Now, I've seen on some of them here, you see, instead of light blue or navy blue, oh, I think it's light blue, you see green. So there's kind of two different ones out there. I like the light blue. So that's going to be our next one. Well, until the other part of my ribbon comes in. And yes, I missed the boat on that one. But I'm hoping, you know, just like breast cancer, you know, one. I have that one sitting in my shop. What's that? Kind of thing, because I missed the boat last year on that one. Hey Pam, hello pretty lady, my Debbie. Hey Kim. Oh yay, Kay. Hey, if you haven't been here before, type the word alert down below, and Rosie will send you a personal message, and she'll respond back to her in the personal message the word alert. So let me put this away, and I'm going to show you this other thing I got. Oh my god. And I'm going to try to do this tomorrow with y'all. Okay. It's a little bit heavy. Oh my god. Oh, I almost knocked my computer off. Good God, have mercy. This heavy box, good Lord, I have a heart attack just lifting it. This came from Scott's Waterman. Waterman's Loft. Can you guess what it might be, y'all? Take a guess. Y'all take a guess. I'll give you 10 seconds. Take a guess. I swear I'm going to have to use the computer now. And I'll move it over here because I don't like turning away from you. I think that's just rude, in my opinion. I don't know how to get this to stop. Yes, come on. Bam! Bingo! Bingo, 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 Jenny. Yes! I'm so happy. It is, I bought the two, I guess you would call it like the 6-foot section or 80-foot section. What? Not 80 foot, but 80 inches, whatever it is. It's for the ribbons. So tomorrow, I may set this up as you guys watch me. It would be funny putting this together. Good Lord have mercy. So let me waddle this back over out of the way so I don't kill myself. So hold on. But it is kind of heavy. But I'll tell you what, it's made out of wood, which is better than, you know, the things that are made out of the plastic. Because I researched it and for a long time, and, you know, with it. Hey, Nancy. Can Johanna? Call Johanna to organize. Pam, you're so funny. Hey, if she pops on, I'll let her know you said that. Yeah, she's my organizer, that's for sure. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It would be so nice to have that. And I have a space I'm hoping it will fit. So I can get rid of all these stackable things, you know, and just have that so I can see ribbon. I mean, I'll probably keep some of them, you know. But like the bottom drawer, is it 3 drawers here? It's a 3-drawer stacking and a 3-drawer stacking thing. And the bottom drawer has some of my signs in it. And some signs are over here. And the weight is, it's just not made for that, is what it is. So, but let's get going. All right. So what I'm going to pin on here for you guys, because we're going to be using Miss Susie Brown's Ultimate Collapsible Mesh Roller. Whoop. How do I copy? Copy. This is the first time I'm doing it off the computer here. So it's kind of weird for me. Ooh, that worked. Oh, look at that. Can I pin that? How do you pin? Pin it! Bam, baby. So I pinned it on the bottom there for you. Because I usually have everything set up and you guys don't get to see the before pictures. There's a lot of before pictures here. So this is the Ultimate Collapsible Mesh Roller. She does have another new version out of it, and these are cut a little different. This is the one, I bought this one from her back in the early fall, I guess it was. So what's nice about it, you can stick it under your desk or whatever. Did I catch the latch? Nope, I didn't. So that, oh my gosh. How do you read the comments if you do that? Oh. Oh. Hey, 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 how do you do this? Oh. Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Oh, now I won't see the comments, will I? If I missed anybody, I apologize. I just got asked to be mentor. Thank you, Julie. Be a mentor today for another lady. I don't know if she wants me to mention her name. Hi, Julie. Or not. So I'm not a pro, you guys. I'm not a pro. There we go. Hey, Sally. How do I get you those names? There. Maybe there. This is going to be fun, let me tell you. And if she wants me to mention it, she can say so. Susie, I do like my new craft room. My lighting is like, I got the dining room light on. I got a lamp over there. I got a lamp that has a thing pointing at me, one going up, and I have a lamp standing on top over here. So I have a lot of light, and it's hot as heck in this room. Kind of thing. But I like the dining room because the light was just one light over you, although it's more closer so you get hot. I mean, I was sweating because I was like rushing because, you know, with my granddaughter being here as late. And I wasn't quite sure if I like make everything in time. So we're going to do the poof and curl. This is one of those things where, good God. Hey, let's see if I can do it that way. You know, when you open one roll and you use it and then you forget about it and you open another roll, you forget about it, and it's like, really? So we're going to see how much we have on both of these. So we're going to take our little rod and we're going to stick it through one. We're going to do two. Whoops, the other way. And we're going to put this baby up top because I have a feeling we're going to use this baby too. I don't know if I'm missing comments. Okay, so far not. Okay. So like and share the page, you guys. Invite your friends to come on here. Because I love talking to people. Although I talk to myself, but not guys. So we'll see. So this here is the frame, 15-inch frame. 8 ties in the middle, 10 on the outside. And you're probably going to ask me, how do I do this? And these will shift a little bit. You can glue them down, but once you start putting the mesh in there, it will be okay. Really is going to drive me crazy. All right, so you can lay it down. You take one mesh. I keep saying mesh, don't I? This, what do you call this? Chenille stem, pipe cleaner. Lay it down, and that's how you can measure the next one. And you just do that going all the way around. If they shift or a little bit loose, like I said, once you put the mesh in, it will do it. Or you could put a dab of glue on there, or tie it really tight, and then it won't move. Okay? So let's get on a roll. I love this mesh. I love doing it, the mesh. It's a jute. It's not a burlap, y'all. See, Susie, how come I can't see the comments on here? How do I do that? So now I pinned it. Okay. Maybe if I do it that way. We'll find out. I like this one because it has the two-tone in it. And I like using this with my military, you know, too, as one of my favorites. Not just, you know, for something like this. This is going to drive me crazy, y'all. So, like I said, I have bits and pieces. So today our sign is going to say, love is a four-legged word. Ta-da! So we're going to do a dog one. So that's why I picked out, because this has the brown and the white, or off-white or cream in it. That's why I picked out this to do it. See, there's somebody comments. Oh my gosh, how do you... Okay, y'all need to help me. Because I can't see any of the comments. Oh, I'll just have to keep dabbing on here, you guys. I have to figure this out. Hey, Gwen! So, we're going to do a little doggy wreath. Not sure if I'm going to put it off to the side. I don't know about the middle. And I didn't attach this because we're going to staple tonight. So, we'll get to that later. So, let's do our poofs. Poof, there it is. I wanted to sing the song, Who Let the Dogs Out? I know, that's weird. I'm weird. Alright, so we'll start with this one here. Like I said, hey Vicky, how are you? Julie, I like your eyes, Julie. You're watching? Does that mean you're watching me? I'm under a microscope. Alright, so I'm just going to scrunch this here, and I'm going to pick one that is relatively close to the other one down here, so when I come around after I do the inside to the bottom row, I'm not wasting as much jute. See? We say the wrong words sometimes. Oops, eyeballs. Getting electric in my shed. It should be finished tomorrow. Ooh, good for you, Debbie. I wish I had a shed. I wish I had a she shed. Be out there all by yourself. Cranking the tunes. See, I don't know how to do that. Man. Okay. Okay. I don't even have a shed. I have a little shed. You know what it's filled with? My granddaughter's toys. That's all that's in our little shed out there. And it's one of those little ones that, you know, you got to lift up the lid, you know, to it. Kind of thing. And I'm going to turn that in so that way nobody gets cut. I put the zip tie about 1 inch from where I tied it off. And I'll cut this off about 1 inch. All these things are popping up here. Why doesn't it stay on the comments? Jute and mesh. Difference. Where's my... Okay, let me grab a mesh so you can see. Is that a good one to grab? Yeah. This is a mesh. Okay? This is jute. This has... Here's a good way I can explain it is, you know, where's my cord? I had it here somewhere. You know, oh, here it is. You know, like this cord stuff, like you always see? It's called jute, is what it's made out of. Okay, and it's just twined together somehow. And so this is what's woven in here. You see the jute? And this part here, like I call it the white part, it's kind of the same thing, just a different color. Does that make sense? This poly is like, when you always hear poly jute, polyester, just like with the ribbons, is kind of what it's made of. This has a foil in it. The jute does not. So you get a little sparkly out of it. This is a little bit more, I'll use the word rougher to your skin. This is softer to the touch. Does that help, Sally? I can't wait to get started. Yes, I love doing wreaths. I like to do other things too. Fibers. That's a good way of saying it, yeah. It's different textures, different fibers. Oh, the orange isn't going to be used, so that was just something I grabbed off the shelf so I could show y'all. We're not using the orange tonight. Okay. So the other thing I can tell you sometimes, Sally, you can go into some of the stores. Don't open anything. But if you go in the ribbon section, you'll see burlap ribbon, you'll see satin ribbon. Like this one is a satin kind of ribbon, but it has wire in it. Then you have ones that feel, even though this is a polyester, it feels, I'll use the word cotton. Canvas ribbons, like this is a canvas ribbon and it's really stiff. So you have different types. And if I don't know the ribbon brand or, you know, where I'm shopping with it or something, I'll kind of like take it, you know, and we're all guilty of this for sure. Like where it starts, I'll do one of these things and then I'll try to tuck it back in there nicely to see if the feel of it, if it's something I think that's going to be good to use, you know, with my stuff. So I do that. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Love that black. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll go over the ribbons in a bit. So everybody does dog ones. It's always black and red, you know. So we're kind of going the same round because the ribbon's only black and red. It's like you either get black and red like this or you get white and black. Excuse me, white and black. So on this one here, you're guilty. I think we're all guilty of that. Seriously, we're all guilty. It's not just Juju and not just me. We're all guilty. So make sure your edges are folded under. Oh, look at that. I'm like really at the end of this one. I'm like using all my scraps these last 2 wreaths. Did you guys notice that? So we're going to do this one at 8-inch poofs. Hey, 10-inch poos. We're going to do 10-inch in this because that sign is pretty square and I want it to, the wreath to, you know, hold it better, if that's a good way. This is really, it's really going to drive me crazy. Hello, Miss Tanya. How are you? So we're going to do 10-inch in the middle this time. And y'all can just judge your own, you know, of how you want to do it. If you want to do 8 inches and 10 inches on the outside, 10 in the middle, 12 inches on the outside, you know, do what you want. Whoop. Guilty with tape. Did I get all the tape off? Nope. There's a piece here. Come here, come here. But I love this, like, in the fall time, this is a good, this one, or just the plain color jute. Now, if you shop online for, like, the plain brown one, read it before you buy it, because it will say jute, but burlap might be in that word in there. So make sure if you want the jute with burlap or just the jute. I choose just the jute, no burlap. I know about the rhythm, but I didn't know what makes jute. Jute. This is a fiber that makes a difference. Yes, it is. It's the fiber of the material that makes a difference. This is just like softer, you know. I don't know how to explain it anymore. I don't know if the jute cord says anything about it. There's stickers on it. It doesn't even tell you where it's made. Oh, still China. But it is, I don't know if this goes to this or not. But it is, it's a cord. You know, I know it is cord, jute cord. And then they wove it into making jute mesh. Not mesh, but, well, I guess it is a mesh, so to speak. If that helps. Hi, Irene. I'm glad everybody's doing good. Today, it was like 82. The workers took a break for lunch, so I quickly went out to Home Depot. And I ran out and bought 10 more bags of mulch because it was on sale. And in doing that, came back, unloaded them, and then sweated like a pig. So my hair gets really curly. If you guys ever see me, my hair is like Shirley Temple style. So I think I might just be enough to do this. If I could get it uncurled. So let me just ruffle this up like this, and we'll see where we are because it's curling at the end there. There we go. Ooh, I will just make this. Just make it by the skin of my teeth. I love this too, Tanya. I actually saw her comment. Yeah, I, you know, whenever I see it, if I'm at a store or if I see it online, somebody's having, you know, a sale on it, I try to nab it up because it's a good, it goes with everything. And I like using the two-tone sometimes than just the tan one because then you don't have to worry about so much ruffles. Like, we're not going to put ruffles in this today or anything because this is a dog. I don't think the dog would like ruffles that much. But let me just pull this curl out good. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to stop this one here. Now I could probably do the 2 twist ties together since I'm going to restart it with another. But I really want to make sure that this is tight in here. Then trying to put 2 and 1 slides out, if that makes sense to anybody. I am having a cup of a cup of coffee with Bailey's Irish Cream, which I never do. I need to do something after today. So if y'all, Sally's in Damon's blueprint course, and the course is, you know, designed for people that are beginners in learning and stuff. And from what I understand, they have to take tests at the end. I don't know if that, you know, all about the course or anything because I'm not in it. But, and Sally's taking the course. And, you know, when you're starting up a business, it's a lot to learn. And you're going, oh my God, what did I get myself into, you know? But once you get through the course and stuff, you'll be like, I'm a pro. No, it'll be a lot easier. All right, so that one's done. Let me pull up my ties because I don't want to get them mixed in with the other one. All right, so let's see how far I get with this one. What are we caught on? Snip, snip. a little piece sticking out. Let's snip it out of the way. Well, I'll probably get like 2 out of this one, right? What did I get, 3 out of this one? Well, maybe about the same. So anyway, so I got the 10 bags of mulch, which was probably, I bought 8 the other day, and I bought the 10 today, and that was probably enough that my car could actually hold in the back. I could feel the weight, you know, in the back a little bit. It was a little bit too bulky for me. And I'm not going to put this underneath because I know I'm at the end of it, so I'm just going to crinkle this baby up. And then the other one I'll stick on. The third one I'll stick underneath it, because this is already at the end. So I'm going to put this one right over here. And I'm going to tie this one on the middle rail. This one I have on the outer rail. I'm going to tie this one on the inner rail. And that's just so I make sure that it's really tight on there. No. Sally, you're not crazy, first of all. I took, and I know I've said this, I did Damon's well, I did his cha-ching course, but which was this past January into February, I think it was. But I also, back in the fall, I took his crafted coin course. And you talk about going crazy. I'm tying this one down first because I'm in between here. So I wanted to make sure I had this before I did the poof. And what I had to do, where you're getting it more broken down, I had 6 weeks to make a Facebook page, a website, Etsy page, Pinterest, Instagram, MailChimp, ManyChat, one more, forgot what it was, all in 6 weeks. And talk about crazy. And thank God I don't have to take tests like you guys are, but I did it. And, you know, yeah, I'm proud of myself. But it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. But I'm happy I did it. I learned a lot, and I still continue to learn a lot from Damon. So, and I still stay in his business group. I look, you know, at people that have, you know, maybe problems doing something. I reach out to them and say, I can help you with this, because that's what we're all about. It's about being friendly to each other. It's not about being mean to anybody or anything like that. So this piece I'll just wind up tucking underneath there. So let's see how many I'll get out of this. 2 poofs. I'm proud of you also. Thank you, Sally. It's like I said, it's a lot to learn. And that's just because it's a business. You know, you want to learn the ins and outs of it and how to do it. So and I still continue to learn, because there's something, you know, somebody knows a little trick of the trade, and whether it's design-wise or in the business, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Where was I? Kind of thing. So I'm always continuing to learn. I'd rather continue to learn than be left in the dark and going, I missed that boat. Like I did with the autism wreaths. Missed that boat big time. I was doing good. I was staying ahead of myself. I had my Valentine's Day done. I had St. Patrick's Day and Easter, and I missed the boat on autism. But I'll still put it in there, because there are people, maybe they're not doing it. Hey, Loyana, that may not be doing something about awareness this month, but they still need an autism wreath. So I think I got, what, 2 curls out of this one? Did I get 2 or 1? 2 curls. 2 poofs. 2 poofs, not curls. Poofs. Poofs, ladies. Maybe 3. Oh, I'll get 3. Boy, 3's my lucky number today. Maybe I should go play that in the lottery. Hello. Win a lottery of ribbon. So I'm really excited. I got my stuff from Barb's Country Creations today. And I can't wait. Craft Outlet is coming. I think I had 4 things. Oh, and Reese by Mary have some ribbon coming in. And, oh, that's the end. And I'm just, you know, it's like you go through those phases. Oh, I got everything. And you're like, oops, I forgot about that. You know? So, but then you're like, ooh, I like that ribbon. And I just have to have it. Just have to have it. So here we go. we'll tie this baby down. Look, I got a lot of zip ties out here because I knew I was going to need them. So I'm going to tie this one onto the inner one. And I have that little box thing that you thread it through. I always have that sticking on the inside of the wreath. Again, so when you tie it and you pull it, when I cut it, it's facing inside, not in here. If somebody grabs it this way, I don't want them to get cut or, you know, or anything like that. Oh gosh, Pam, dedicating? Listen, this is the nut house. Nut house. I'm just one of those people with a job. I want to know it all, you know, like kind of thing. But technology keeps changing, so I got to change with technology. And that's a challenge right there. But with the network, you know, like if you find somebody that can help you be like a business buddy and stuff, that helps a lot as well, with you learning your stuff. And watch, here it goes. And Cassidy's not here to blow through those tonight. I just realized that. That's what she was doing the other night. You know how to do it. Ooh, okay. Nut house, nut house. I'm going to move this one down just because I want it closer. That's just a me thing. You don't have to, but it's a me thing. Oh, thanks, Pam. I'll tell you what. My floors are getting there. And here's the hard thing. We put down pergo floor 11 years ago, the entire upstairs. And if you look at it, you know, it's kind of like this desk. It looks like country oak, you know, like back in the olden days. But they're actually like, you know, big planks. And we did that because, you know, of our dog at that time, and still our dog now, but a different dog now because the other one passed away. And pergo was supposed to be good. You know, they always have that Great Dane picture on there. So we said, what the heck? Because the carpet in the house was just not good carpeting. I don't know. I think it was contractor carpeting from the days when they actually built the house. Oop, I'm caught. There we go. Okay. And so it was stained and stuff, and so we just replaced it all. Well, of course, now that we're doing the bedroom, we thought, that floor is still available. Not. And for 3 weeks, I went back and forth with pergo trying to get the floors the same color. It's called Tidewater Oak. And they didn't have it. And I went to the Lowe's because we bought it through Lowe's. And they were like, you know, talking to pergo dealer. And this went back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, found at Home Depot, because now Home Depot carried it, and a long time ago they did not. They had one, whoops, it's upside down. Twist, twist, twist. That they twisted it too much. What did I do? They had it, but it's technically a different color name. So it's actually a little bit, I'm going to use the word orangier, but our other floors are also 9 years older. So they may have been just as orangier back in the day. So I said, you know, it's in the master bedroom. It's the same floor, you know, except for looking a little bit more orangier. But they were laying it today. I went, oh my God, it looks identical. So it worked out, you know, for us in the long run. So, and it's looking good. It's looking good. I do say so myself. All right, so let me open up this one. We're going to stick this one in here. There we go. And then we'll continue. Now we don't have to worry about doing any more zip ties till we get to the end. Thank the Lord. We're getting zip tied out there, y'all. So, I've kind of been mad at my contractor because I was like, you know, this is week 8. It doesn't take this long. And, you know, so I kind of, I say the word ignored him a little bit today. And although he said I was busting his you know what, and I said, no, I just tell the truth. That's what it is. But he knows I'm mad that this is taking so long. But of course his excuse is, Well, he didn't expect half his workers to be, no offense to anybody, people that were illegal. And I don't know if they got deported or whatever. So I was like, well, that's the way it goes. So I'm paying the price. So the outside is going to be 12 inches. I tied it down to the one. Remember I said I wanted one close by to where I would end, so I wouldn't waste all this mesh going this way. So I tie it close. Oh yeah, he didn't show up is right, Sally. So for the last almost 2 weeks, one person has been here painting. Now I'm glad that he's going to be putting a lot of coats, but he did the baseboards, you know, and he was doing sanding and stuff. But it's one person. This job could have been done. He could have been doing that. Somebody could have been in the bathroom tiling. You know, it's like, it's not rocket science, y'all. You want a business. So, you know, today he said, well, I'm crediting you some for the floors. I was like, because I told him, no. I said, you're going to lay the floors for free. I bought the floors because, you know, we didn't plan on putting those in. And then because it just didn't work out, you know, we couldn't match pieces and stuff like that from the extras that we had. So I went out and bought it so that I didn't have to listen. You know what they do, sometimes they'll blame it on you, me being the customer, if you're late or holding up the project. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to get in trouble for holding up the project. I'll get it done. And they actually delivered it. I know, it is ridiculous. My friend's lived in a house 3.5 hours away from me, a little Cape Cod house, and she started 2 weeks after me. She has landscaping done, railings done, power wash ceiling, painted inside, new kitchen cabinets, tiling down the bathroom, new tiles in the kitchen floor. And I'm like, I have one room that you made a wall, put 2 walls in to make the bathroom. No offense. Not rocket science. Not rocket science. So he says, although he said this last week, that tiling will start tomorrow. Really? You know, I'll believe it when I see it. And of course the worker today is going, oh well, you know, oh, I'll have all this done, you know, putting up the closet is easy. I said, yeah, probably the closet's the easiest. You know, it's a shelf with a 2 rail, you know, kind of thing. It's not rocket science. We're not doing like all these kind of cubbyhole. I mean, we're doing the whole length. It'll be one big shelf going across, then it'll be 2 rows, you know, 2 bars, and then we're putting little cubbies in at the end, so to speak. So if you want to put shoes or something in there, you know, whatever. And he said, oh, that will go fast. I said, yeah, that'll probably be the fastest. But, you know, you still got the electricians that are going to come back to put the fan and all the other pocket lights in. You got to put the handle on the door. You got to put the door into the bedroom on there. You got to put the tiling in. You got to put the fan in the bathroom. You got to put get the cabinet in, you know, because it's a custom-made vanity. The sink, all the fixtures, you know, for that. Put the toilet in. Put the mirrors up. Really? You got 4 more days to have this complete. Because I gave him to this week. I said, I'm done. You know, that's the sad thing about it is that we used him. He did our main floor. Then, like I said, we went the next year. We had our deck done, which was by somebody else. And that was another trip. Because the guy at 10:30 in the morning, one of the workers is drinking a Coors Light and throws it into one of the holes where they're going to put the footing. And I'm like, I caught him. I looked out the window and I said, really? So I went to the guy in charge and I said, I want him off my property. I said, I don't want somebody drinking at 10:30 in the morning and going to be working here. I was like, what is with these people? You know, seriously. It's like, you want a job, do the job. Oh, that was another thing with that contractor. And I was like, I don't know what these contractors think. Oh, give me all the money up front and we'll have it done. You know, I'm going to go on one of that Homes shows, probably. You know, one of those shows to have everybody come in and fix everything that everybody else did. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I know. Oh my God, it's right. Ooh, 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 I lost everything. Look at the roll of mesh. My roll of mesh? I saw your comment there. So, it'll all work out in the long run. Watch So life goes on. All right, we're at the last one. So I'll open this last tie here, tuck it in, just like I would when I, came down from the top. All right, turn it, and we're gonna bring this in. I bring it on the inside. Look, I got like nothing left. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run a third ring on here, okay? Just because I don't have that much left. I didn't plan on doing that, but we'll do it anyway, because I don't want to have a little tiny bit left. So let me just move all my little ties up and out, because I sometimes grab the wrong tie, the top to the bottom, bottom to the top. Whoops. All right, there we go. So what I'm going to do, I just tied it off here, okay? So I'm going to skip this tie, and I'm going to grab it at the next tie. Now you can zigzag this, so to speak, like I can pull it from the bottom. Next one, I'm going to make it go from the top to the bottom. It's still going to be in between here, but it's just, there's no right or wrong. Do what you want, and it's okay. And like I said, this is just to take up the rest of this so I don't have any left over. Hopefully I'll get through this. If not, I will have leftover. So I'm going to bring mine all on. I'm going to use the ties on the bottom. You don't have to open it if you don't want to. I tied that like 3 times. Good Lord. But just to, come here, tie. You don't have to. Sometimes I'll open it. It just depends if the tie seems like it's getting short. That makes sense. Good. All right. So 1, and we'll skip 1, and here we go. I tied a lot of these like really super tight this time. Go tight. Because I'm famous for having it open up. So like and share the page, you guys. Invite your friends. The more we have, the merrier it will be. So I think this might be the last one. Get in there. And like I use this, like I said, a lot in the fall time, because this is just so pretty. Sunflowers, this looks pretty with. You can do whatever you want. Alright, so my last one comes back to the beginning here. Oh, no, I'm not going to save this. Be too much. So I'm going to open the last one here. Put it in. I can make my poops in here a little bit bigger. That would take up some more of it, but it's not worth it. Alright. There we go. And we'll take this. I'm going to hide it underneath here. And another zip tie. I'll tell you what, this baby ain't coming apart with all these zip ties in here. Let me put the zip tie in first. I can't see. There we go. Do I have it? No, I have it flipped wrong. There we go. So there we go. So tomorrow, another day with the contractors. So we'll see. Ooh. Okay. Yay. At the end of that. I could save this because I do these curl methods with these, the poof and curl. And then when you're done with this, now I can use this with my ribbons too, which I may, so I'll leave it up like that for right now. Okay, so now I like to poof my curls, my poofs. I like to poof my curls. Oh my gosh, my language today. I like to do my poofs afterwards. I used to do them as I go, but then I find, when I get to the bottom row and stuff, they just get in my way. So I wait to the end to do it. Makes it easier for me. But you can do it however you want. I just realized my chair is awfully low. So you guys tell me, how are you guys today? Anybody do anything fabulous except sit at home like me, watching workers or hearing banging all day? Oh, and they also knocked my cable. The banging vibrated something. I kept plugging things back in, and I finally gave up. I was like, well, I guess I won't watch TV, you know. I mean, I got like 130 something shows I gotta watch. Good Lord. Because I used to, when I was upstairs, I had my TV. So if I was making something or doing something, I'd just put the TV on and, you know, you watch it as you're doing it. Down here, I don't have that. It's in the other room. So I'm like, all my shows, I DVR them. And then I eventually get to them. It's okay, summer's coming. There's a lot of shows that won't be on during the summer. They always do all the reruns, so I'll get caught up. I'll be a whiz. So that's the middle. So let's do the bottom. I know, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy life. But I love my DVR. I'm the one who only DVRs. My husband's had one show on there since last month sometime. It was some movie. And he doesn't watch it because he also watches is the sports. So so he's downstairs in his man cave. And he doesn't, you know, do shows like that. So, and then when I'd say, hey, you know, this show you used to like, you know, and stuff, oh, I didn't know it was back on. So then I said, well, it's on the recording. So I showed him how to do the recording. I always show him because I'm the master. And so look at how nice this comes out. Look how nice and full it is. I don't know if I went all the way around. I think I did. Yeah, I did. See? Nice and full. Isn't it pretty? So you get the alternating colors, brown, tan, or like off-white, tan. And this does have a little bit of, like, I don't know if it's just the way they wove it. It gives it like a glitter, but it's not really glitter in there, if that makes sense. Alrighty. Let's put you off to the side here. So my tails for the evening, which I didn't cut enough of, all my tails are 13 inches. So I have the black paw, black and white ribbon, 2.5 inch. I have these two, the bandana, the red bandana, and a black check. Why not? Why not? So I put the kind of the red one in between the two. Now the black doesn't really have a good or a bad side. I mean, this does, and this one does. But I just look at how it's sewn, you know, kind of thing. And I make that decision that way. So we're just going to do this, put them together, crinkle them up, and we're going to put these babies in. Put them in there. And then you can, there's different ways you can spread this out. If you want the big paw print and then put, you know, alternating it. Or you can just spread them out enough so that your tails are just peekabooing, so to speak. And I'll show you what I mean. This black and white one is, there we go. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything in this tubing yet. So it's like a peekaboo. And I say that because I have the big one on top, then I have the red, and then the black on the bottom. So I call it like peekaboo. I don't know. It's just something I made up. But you can do them on the angles. You can have the red in the middle, angle the black on the top, put the two smaller ones on the outside, big one in the middle. Whatever your heart desires. Thanks, Nancy. Yeah. Tanya, you can check. Who has this mesh? This jute. I don't know who has any. Krafts does or not. He constantly paid off and left one day and didn't come back. He was putting up a fireplace in the basement. I have fire coming from my ears. From your ears? Oh my God. Well, that was me. Friday, because I just got mad because it's the contractor who's turned around and says, oh, Monday we're going to do this, Tuesday we're going to let the paint dry, Wednesday we're going to mock up the closet. You draw some lines. That's not going to take 8 hours, right? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday was supposed to be tiling last week. That was his words to do. And what happens? None of that happened last week. Whole week. So the one worker today was telling me, oh, well, you know, we have this other job we're working on, and there was some leak in the balcony ceiling, and this lady was going to buy it, but now she doesn't want to buy it because of that. And I went, not my problem. My problem and concerns are, what are you doing for my house? That's my problem. And I know that sounds mean to say, but I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, you guys have been working on this for all these weeks, you know. Why does she get preference over me? Really? Why does she get preference over me? I know that sounds mean, but it's just frustrating, you know? Nothing I can do, nothing I can do. So I'm going to stop griping until it's done, and I'll show you guys the beautiful picture when it's done. So, but I still have a huge dumpster in my driveway. My neighbors keep saying, when is that going to leave? I'm like, good question. Don't have an answer for you. Although it's great if you want to de-stash stuff in your house and you don't want to put it all at the curb. Throw it in the dumpster, because they're going to haul it away anyway. So, I mean, we do recycling and stuff. We do put our trash in the trash can. But, you know, like if you want to clean out an area in your house somewhere along the way, there you go. Works for me. Oh, I know, Nancy. I'd be mad at him too. And, you know, and I am. And that's why I didn't respond to the contractor's comments today. And it wasn't until the end of the day when he said, oh, aren't the floors looking great? I was like, really? I got how many lights hanging from my ceiling, one on the floor. And I said, it's hard to be joyous about the floor when you see all these other things that aren't done. And like I've said before, it's like having your hair done. You know, they cut it and they got it all wild, all crazy, and then you're like, oh, good God, what is this going to look like, you know? And then it comes out and you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. You got all that from this, you know, kind of thing. So it is what it is. Go with the flow. Like I said, like and share the page, you guys. Invite your friends here. If it's your first time with me, if you want to get, you know, not just a messenger from my bot, click anywhere on the page. Those 3 little dots will come up, and just hit the notification button on there. And I am going to be starting a private group, and I did put it on the page. It's not going to happen for a little bit, but just to get you guys used to you know, that it's going to be there. It's called Nonnas Nutty Squirrels. I should have done that. Nonnas Squirrels. So go ahead and get on that page. So eventually it will be closed to the public. Right now I have it open, but it will be a closed group, and you will have to, you know, join it in order to be in it. But so I'm posting on, you know, NonnasNuttykrafts in there, so that, you know, people get notifications both ways in case they just popped up on the one. Live video interrupted. It didn't interrupt on mine. Sally, you need to get your internet fixed. I think you mean your router needs to be, I don't know, what do they call it, like faster speed or something? You're always getting bopped out. So this is coming to life, you guys. See the difference? I mean, there's no tan in here. We have it in there, in the sign. So that's where I'm bringing in the mesh, the tan from here into the sign, you know, from the sign. Oops, I folded that one. And I do have some red with tan ribbon. And I'll show you all the ribbon we're going to use over here. Now, I didn't cut all these again. I think I cut like 13 of the tails, because I know underneath the sign I'm not going to put any tails because you're not going to see it. Kind of silly to do that. And I just realized I wanted to make sure all my paw prints were going in the same direction. That's another thing. The red and the check don't mind, but the paw prints, you don't want some going one way, some going the other, because that's kind of a funky little dog there. Thanks. Oh, it is available in my Etsy shop. It has a big Facebook Live picture. If you do want this wreath, it is in there. So go ahead if anybody wants it. Yeah, I do like the red. Now, I could have done like red and black, you know, using this one in the wreath, but I like the white because the white really shows the paw prints. I'm going to use the red and black like when we do the bow, because I think that would be just pretty, you know, in the bow. That's just my opinion, but you can do this however you want. Mix the colors, try some. You can do polka dots. Doesn't matter. You can do chevron ribbon in here, which I had pulled out, and I pulled out a different, almost like a herringbone I was going to do, or more of a black ribbon. If you don't hear from me, it's because I can't get back on. Sally! Alright, so I'm short ribbon, which I knew I was because I didn't cut enough. So see, not just using this for the mess roller. Sally, you better not go away, girlfriend. Alright, oops. And I'm going to thread this one through here. So I think I cut enough black and the black, the other two. So I need 1, 2, so that would be 10, 11, 12, 13. So 5 more at least we need of this one. So let's get that baby rolling. Make sure you guys are going to keep me on my toes, because make sure my paw prints are the same way. Alright. Alright, so I cut these at 13 inches each, or 13 inches long. There's 2. I think I need a new pair of scissors, because they're getting hard at the end. If I cut it like this at the end, it's 4, 5. And we'll roll this baby back up. Roll. There we go. Sally! Don't give up, Sally. Never give up. That's my motto. They always say, what is your favorite, you know, like your phrase? And mine I always say never. Because you do that and you change your mind later on, you know, or years down the road or whatever, and then you're like, oh, and somebody said, you said you were never going to do this, you know, and I always say never. Because eventually you'll try it. Like, I didn't think I'd ever go skydiving. I did it. I will say I will never do that again. That I will not do again. Sally, seriously, call your cable people and see if it's on their end. All right, so we have 5 more of those babies, and I'll put them together. So we have paws. This has no really right or wrong way to direction-wise, and nor does this one, needless to say. But we'll get them going here. You can fold them in half or fold them facing out. Doesn't matter. Whatever your heart desires. So you can fold it this way. And that's the way I was folding it. Just folding it out and about this way. I'll leave that one that way. I'm not going to. Alright, and oops, is that the right way? I like that side better. No right or wrong, but I just like the way it's woven on that side. And last one here. Good to go. And I can't wait till I get my perfect tails, y'all. And the Soul Sisters, I think I ordered, I hope I ordered, the spring colors, you know, of their collection. So I can't wait for that to come. I can't wait to put my shelves together. I'm like a kid in the candy store, y'all. I can't wait. I'm just excited. And I'll have to message Scott. I'll send him a picture. Whoops. So that he can see. Because I don't know if anybody's done that yet. I don't know how many people bought, but I bought one for me, and a friend of mine, she was out shopping, and she always says, oh, don't look at my craft room, and she had ribbon like on the floor and stuff. So I knew he had a few, and I messaged her, hey, do you want one of these? And she's like, yes. So I said, okay, I'll buy it. You know, she paid me back, like I said before. And she got hers today. We both got them today. And I said, oh, we should do a live of both of us putting it together. That would be funny. Very pretty colors. Thank you. Hi, Diane. How are you? Hey, like and share the page, you guys. Bring your friends in. It's just more fun. Have boodles of people. There we go. Last one on the bottom. Good Lord. Between all the mesh, the jute, and all this, what did I go through? Like 2 rolls of jute. That's funny. I've never done that. I'm trying to use up. This is how I have my 21-inch mesh. I have 3 boxes, and they were boxes like like sash boxes, swag boxes, about this high, long, and I tape the whole long side of it together and cut the short end, and I have them stacked up, and I put my mesh in there because I have all these bins, and I was like, you can't really see it in the bins. I have some 21 here, there's some 10-inch there and stuff, and I was just like, this way it's there and I see it. I can see the ends of it and know what color and stuff, and I like that a lot better. So it's getting there. But we always tweak things. You know how that goes. All right, so let's just put some of these babies up here. Oh, you know what would look pretty with this would be some red tubing. Oh, and the wreath that I made last night, y'all, what I call the cherry blossom wreath, but it's the spring wreath with flowers, is on my Etsy page. I did post pictures for that today. So those of you that were on the live, or if you weren't, you can see here's my name, NonnasNuttykrafts. I'm on Etsy, Pinterest, Facebook. So you can go look there. It is in my Etsy shop. Just type the word NonnasNuttykrafts. And make sure they have it where you can shop, like look up something or the word shop. So make sure you hit the word shop, because otherwise you'll be going, where does she say she's on Etsy? I'd be like, yeah, but you gotta hit shop. So, oh, I thought I twisted that. Hello, come back. See, at least I got through all the mess, the jute today without it untying, because that's always been my little flaw lately. One more. Good Lord. All right. If I was ever in a contest to how quick I can make a wreath, I'd fail. Because I'm like taking my time. I mean, I don't mean to take up all your time, kind of thing. I try to do as much as I can, so that you guys aren't here watching me cut everything in here for hours on end, kind of thing. But it still takes time, because you guys want to learn, and I got to show you guys. All right. Ooh, black and red tubing. I got that in my head for some reason now. All right, so that's where that's going to be. So we're going to put this baby, we'll just hang it over here. Look at how cute that looks so far. Isn't that cute? And again, I'll be here all night doing this. I enjoy taking my time making a wreath. That's part of the fun. It is. When I'm here, like during the day, I used to do a lot of the wreaths, and that's not going to work. And I'd sit here and just make them during the day, like my husband would be at work or something. And I just took my time. And it was fun. Like I said, I turn on the TV and I just do it. But, I'd rather do them on the live with you guys, because it makes it more fun to talk to somebody than be by myself, kind of thing. So, but I enjoy doing them. I enjoy trying to come up with a design or some new technique or, way to do something, for you guys. Hey, Tina, how are you? All right, so this sign that I showed you guys earlier, on the back of it, it had this wire like thing so you can hang it on the wall. I didn't want to take it off because I would have to take all these staples out in the wire, and I was afraid that if I couldn't get it off that, somebody would get hurt. So I just took it where the loop was and I just bent it down, and I left it down like that. And now what we're going to do today, instead of using the cable ties, we're going to go ahead and staple the pipe cleaner in here. Now there isn't like a nail in each of these corners, so I'm just going to go slightly in so that I don't hit on that. Whichever way you want to do this, it doesn't matter. It is your choice, but this may be mine. Be fine. Ow, I pinched myself. Good Lord. Thank you, Tanya. All right, so whoops, pull it in a little bit because we're going to twist tie it. I'm going to put 2 staples in. Oh, I got to stand up for this one. That ain't good. Okay, let me stand up so I can put the weight into it, y'all. And then we're just going to take this and twist tie it. But before I do that, one side's a little up. Should have had a hammer. Ooh. And I'm just going to push it down a little bit. That's better. You don't want the staple to stay raised up because if it does, it may have the tendency to come on out. Hey, Marianne, how are you? Hey, Lori. So we're going to twist that in. So sorry for the noise, you guys. I can't help that. But this is a soft wood, and I can actually hear it crack, so to speak, because it's probably like a pine wood, because pine is usually soft. Okay, so twist that baby up. Turn it around. I gotta watch it because I got all these other staples, so I'm gonna go right in between. See if I can get 2 in here. That one's good. I don't want to bang with a hammer, too, because, God, that would really drive me. Hey, Linda from Canada. Woohoo! Welcome. When we lived in Alaska, Alaska's kind of, the highest of the states, so to speak. We always used to say the lower 48 because all the other states were lower than us. So Canada, I guess, would be the lower 47. Is that right, Linda? You could say? Oh, didn't get that one in. Try that baby again. There we go. And you got to watch it too. You don't want to go too close to the edge because you may split the wood off too. Hold on while I put the safety on this. I always shoot it into a garbage can or something. Get rid of those 2 before I wind up stepping on them. Oh, you are in Alaska, Patricia. Yay! We're in Alaska. I used to live in Fairbanks. I have friends that are still up there, as a matter of fact. And they raised their family up there. We met them back in 85, 86, and they're still up there. All right. So, sawing time. Oh. Okay. Decision making. I gotta stand up again. This is me. Because I don't have my wreath stand. It's sitting right there. You guys can probably not see it. It's right at the edge of my table. Ooh. Okay, I made my decision where I think I would want this, but I'm going to give you guys 2 choices, all right? So as I work my things. So choice number 1 will be putting it on the edge, okay? Like that. That's choice number 1. Don't vote yet. Choice number 2 is in the middle. So I made my decision. So you guys tell me, number 1 or number 2? Pam says center. This hand would be center. Oh, on the lakes and outside Glendale. Ooh. I love Fairbanks, Patricia. I love. 2 in the middle. Oops. 3 in the middle. 4 in the middle. All right. 5 in the middle. All right. You guys, middle wins. Everybody's saying the middle. I agree. That was my choice. I should have wrote it down so you know I wasn't lying. So I'm going to finish off putting tails there. And then we're going to figure out what I want to do. If I want to put a little something different just in the corners of this. Because I don't think a big bow will work that out. So let's get the rest of these in. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, we'll be cutting all night, y'all. 5. Let me put this down here so y'all can see it. Center wins. Center wins. All right, so I said 5 more, right? So watch how we're going to do this, because I don't want to be cutting all these different ribbons at all different times. So this is what's kind of neat about this. You can stack your ribbons. Oops, I just poked myself. Look at that pin. It's like an L. What's my other ribbon? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, God, Lord, thank you. Thought I didn't have any more of the little black one. What? Oops. Wow, that would have scared me. All right. That was a new roll there. And we'll put this one on top. So this is what's so cool about this. I like to push them to the edge when I start doing this. I already pulled that one through the bottom. So this way, I have to make only 5 cuts. I don't have to do one row, and then the other row, and the row. If you put it on a spool holder, which I have, you know, over here, the spools, you know, they're going to be stacked like this and on the sides, and it makes it hard to do this. All right? Ooh, almost cut my finger. So look at how easy this is. So like I said, I pin this on the bottom there. 1, 2. Why is my red one, my black one want to keep scooting over there? Get back in your place. And see how easy this is? Hey, Janine. 3. Whoop, come back to Mama. 4. And we got 1 more. Look at my black one. You're like that stray little child that just wants to do everything different than anybody else. That was me. I was very independent as a kid. Did you move your... Yes, I did. My spacious dining room is right next door to the right of me. I moved out of there because this is an old like teacher's desk that I have here, and my friend brought it up because she was, you know, changing some things in her house, and I said, well, what are you going to do with that? I said, I'll take it, and it was going to be for my husband, but we couldn't get it through any of the doors downstairs to downstairs, so I wound up taking it, and she goes, why don't you just move into the living room? And I said, you know, because you don't use your living room, dining room we use all the time. Not all the time, but like for family, you know, dinners and stuff like that. So I said, good idea. So I moved next door. So I'm like in my 3rd craft room, so to speak. So I have not quite half of the craft room used. I'm going to keep the sleeper sofa. But once everything's done upstairs, I can rearrange. Like there used to be 2 chairs and a table here. So I moved them. They're over there. The one's in the corner and the dining room one's there. And I moved. They were going to put those up in the bedroom. And it was good to see with the floor down because all the boxes and junk they had up there. I kind of had this thing in my head like it was narrower, but it's going to be perfect. And I may even be able to move the coffee table up there. Oh, I live in Virginia, Patricia. We lived in Alaska for 3 years, back in 1986 to 89, and then we moved to Florida. Let me tell you, you get thick blood from Alaska, and then you move to Florida, and you move in a house, and there's no air conditioning for 3 days. Talk about sweating to the oldies. Holy Mother of God. We told them to leave the air conditioning on in the house we're renting, but they didn't do that. I should put more of these together because it would save more time. I don't put the little ones with the big ones when I'm cutting these just because the big one's wider and it just doesn't work, in my opinion. So just make sure my paw prints are facing the same way. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to take these 2 and put them on here, cut them so we're a little bit faster for you guys. See, we ad lib and design as we go, because you know, you come up with a different idea. I literally thought I was going to put that on the outside and put a bow. That's why I only cut like 13 of these, because I figured, well, it's 18 loops, but if I cut 13, then it'll be, you know, the bow would probably take up 2, the sign would probably take up at least 2, and then if I had to add any more, I could. But I like the sign being in the middle. I do. Paw prints, turn you the other way. See, one little black ribbon wants to run away. Run away. So it was so nice out today. We have a trampoline in the backyard. And we got it. We used to have one for my kids. And, you know, my kids outgrown the trampoline set out there, you know. And they all moved away and stuff. So we got rid of the trampoline. Yay! I'm glad you made it, Janet. In June from Corpus Christi, Texas. So you did the reverse of us. Let's see, we were in, where were we? We were here in Virginia, and we went to Alaska, and then we went to Florida, and let's see, our first duty station was here in Virginia. Then we went to Fort Polk, Louisiana for 3.5 years. And then we came back up to here for his advanced course. Then we went to, where did we go? Oh, Fort Stewart, Georgia. Right? No. Oh. Where did we go? Wait a minute. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Oh, we went to Alaska. Yeah, we came back up, went to Alaska, to Florida, to Georgia, to Kansas. Oh my God. Where do we go after Kansas? Back to Georgia, to Illinois, to here. Yeah. Good Lord. So we've stayed, luckily for us, we stayed, you know, we grew up in New York, so grew up, you know, doing all the East Coast. So we didn't get far west. Although I was, you know, I used to be a gymnastic coach and USA national judge. Make sure my paws are going to go the same direction, which is this way. And I used to travel with my team. So I got to see, you know, I was up in Canada for a week with the competition, my national team up there. I went to, California, Washington State. So I got to see other parts of the U.S., you know, kind of thing. So that was nice. But it's still my goal to make sure I'm on my bucket list. I say my life list. I don't like to say bucket list. To hit every state at least once and say I've been there. We had one tornado when we were in Kansas. It was about it landed about 20 minutes away when we were stationed there. Now, mind you, here, I have lived through an earthquake, and I was literally in the parking garage. I had just pulled in from work, coming to work, and I'm in, and all the lights in the parking garage are like, woo, 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 and I hear this rumbling sound, and I was like, there's no train underneath me. I'm like, what the heck? So I, you know, took the elevator up, not knowing that it was an earthquake. And I get upstairs, and they're all yelling, get outside, get outside. I was like, what the heck is going on? They're saying, it's an earthquake. I went, huh? Because in Alaska, there's actually 40 volcanoes in Alaska. So there's always trembling. You always hear your pictures just a little bit rattling on the wall. And I didn't know that, you know, back in the day. It wasn't until I left that I was like, good God, really? That's what that was? So when I came home from work here, pictures, things had fallen and stuff, you know, off. I have lived through hurricanes here. I've lived through flooding here. I've lived through the world's worst ever in history wettest year, which was last year. I've lived through dry seasons here. What else is hail? Tornadoes have hit, the closest to me have been like in here, have either been northeast of me or south of me. No offense to anybody else, but thankfully. I call ourselves like we're in a pocket. So sometimes north or south or east or west of us get the snow and we don't get it. So, you know, and same with some of the other, you know, storms that go on. So I'm happily I do love the East Coast. Tanya, I would love to live in California just because, you know, you have the sunny time all the time. But you can get that in Arizona, you know, or Nevada or something too. Like Lake Tahoe, that lake is so gorgeous. I would love to live on a lake that I don't have to worry about alligators or sharks. I mean, you have them turtles that, what do they call them, snapping turtles, but I was like, I can deal with that, you know. But that I can go walk out of my house, walk on the beach, you know, if I want to go swimming, take a boat, go jet skiing or something, or water skiing, that's what I would like. My first earthquake is scary. A few months ago, I will take the hurricane over earthquakes. You know, when they come an earthquake is scary. Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, I lived what we call a canal. I don't think anybody, you know, lives on a canal these days, but, oh, I cut one too many. Dang, I must have missed one. Oh, I did miss one right there. And we literally had a shed, and those sheds were made out of aluminum back in the day. And I still remember, because we're on the canal, the water came up almost as close to the house, but my father, wise man, built the house up on a hill, so we had a basement. So the basement got a little flooded, but it was built above sea level, so it wasn't bad compared to neighbors and stuff, and that most of them had crawl spaces. And make sure my paws are going the same way. It's just a me thing, y'all. And I remember we were in the eye of the hurricane at one point, and it was 50 miles wide. I still remember this as a kid, and the reason why I remember this is because our shed was not tacked down. It was just sitting on a piece of cement, and, you know, we had this stuff inside. And the shed blew over the chain link fence into the front yard, so all the neighbors and all, they came out, you know, and when we were in the eye, and we like tied it down the trees and things like that, and then eventually got it back over the other side, and my father bolted it to the cement after that. But I still remember, and when it was the calm, the sewers would flood up in the front of our yard, because we lived like a triangle, so our street and the other street came, so we were right there at that triangle intersection, and we would take our rafts and things, just go swimming in the street. And so they were happy memories, you know, but and just cool memories. But I you know, I regret, you know, not regret, but I feel bad for people that are in them, like, you know, what happened in Louisiana with Katrina, and my friends up in New York with what happened with Sandy and stuff, and my families, you know, that were all up there. Yeah, I grew up being on the beach. Take the speedboat out, I'd be at the beach, at the ocean in like 9.5 minutes. I remember still that when I was a teenager, I clocked it. We have been freezing rain today. It looks like Ice Wonderland out here. Oh my gosh. Linda, I know up there, my husband drove up when we had our kids. They were all little, like my son still had a pacifier, and I flew. We went from Virginia to New York, and then my in-laws drove me down to Newark, New Jersey. But my husband left from New York and drove. We had bought a big Econoline XL van, you know, and he drove that. It took him 8 days to drive from New York up into Alaska, where we were. So he made it before me. We waited, delayed. So when he got up there, then we left. And I flew from Newark, New Jersey, cross country, and then up. And it took me literally what would be 24 hours. And I just left it on New York time because of all the layovers, and we actually stayed over the one night, so I didn't count the stay over, in friends in Washington. I know. It was a Hurricane Harvey, wasn't that, Patricia? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over, mash everything, pull my little babies through. Let's find them all so I can tie them. And I'm going to tie them on the second ring, and we'll see how that works. You can always change it. And I'll just weasel it through a little bit just to tie it, to kind of hold it. I try to press down a little bit on the wreath, because if I don't, what sometimes happens is that it won't be tight enough. And of course, I have to tie it right where I have all these zip ties. Good Lord, Carolynne. Alright, there's that one. And let's get this one in here. We're getting there, you guys. Oops. Oopsie. Oopsie. So were you in Hurricane Harvey, Patricia? Wasn't that Harvey that hit there and there? We had Sandy here, but luckily for us particularly, it wasn't nearly to say as bad up in New York and the other parts of the coastline that got it. So, but you know, I mean, we had debris and stuff to pick up, but nothing like all the families that lost so much. New Jersey that got hit hard, and the whole boardwalk that we used to go on was like gone, you know, and everybody has to rebuild. It's just sad that Mother Nature plays those rules, decides, oh, we'll let them build it all up and then take it all down, you know? Really? Okay, so I'm just kind of straightening out, pulling up all my twist ties too. Just straightening it out a little bit so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. And get all these tails out from hiding underneath here, because I want to see our tails. Ta-da. There we go. So we're almost done with this baby. Whoops, whoops, whoopsie. See? So that's 2 tonight I didn't tied it up. Good Lord, Carolynne. I got glasses on too, you think? You think? I don't know, it needs something. It needs something. I gotta hold it up and see. And then when I see it, and I'll hold it up so you guys can see too, you guys can tell me what you think it needs. I think it needs something. I don't have a dog bone. I have real ones. I have all this ribbon to make bows over here. I'll show it to you. Maybe we can figure out what we're going to do. Because I like involving you guys on things. I thought of black and red tubing were the 2 colors that, needless to say, I don't want, not brown, needless to say, but I think black and red tubing would give it a little pop and, you know, to make everything a little glittery, you know, so to speak. So I do have those. I'm like this. Where did I put my tubing? Oh, it's over here. But I really messed these up on ya. Which one are you? You go here. And you go here. Here, here, here. Yeah, I think tubing, it needs some tubing. A lot of people don't like to use tubing. I like it, you know, because it gives that little extra pop, little glitter, you know, to it. I love tubing. I do love it. And like I said, a lot of people don't. I mean, I could put little balls on top of this. I have, can you guys see it from there? Maybe not. Heather's kind of hiding. I have all those little, like, they're like styrofoam balls with glitter on them. And I have some, no I don't, because I used it all. I used to have some wreaths that had those on it already come that way. And it was, I just liked it. And some people don't like it with the balls on it already. You know, you can put it on afterwards. And I do that like in the fall. I like using like an orange and a green and a gold, you know, kind of fall colors. All right. So I'm going to give you a gist of this. You're going the wrong way. So you guys can kind of see. That's what it looks like so far. I think the tubing would look pretty. I'm going to turn it and see if I can see it. Now I know, I can see my shine shifted, so I got to make that tighter. Yeah, tubing. Tubing. All right, I'll make that tighter. I don't like keeping, I like to do things to get you guys so you can see it. There's so many of us. But see, look, maybe I can do something, maybe a little tail or something just around the inner or the outside. You guys tell me. I have all these little guys that we could use. I shouldn't say little, some are big. So I pulled these out. Thanks. Thanks, Tanya. Maybe if I just do one, you know, like to do like the, oops, the breast cancer ribbon. I could do that with the tubing. I kind of wanted to use my dog bones. What if I do a dog bone maybe in each corner? Do I have this centered in the corners? I kind of do. Maybe take this. We're gonna experiment. Maybe with this, because we got enough red. Although I would love to use this. I think this. Let's try this. I want to put the dog bones in. Gotta have dog bones in the wreath. I mean, good golly. So let's see. We're going to cut a little bit of this off. Where's my scissors? Maybe we can do a bow. Ooh, hold on. Let's just cut these open. What if we... Thinking out loud, thinking out loud. That's going to be too plain like that. Let's see what it is with this. Oh, gotta have dog bones. Dog bones, dog bones. You know what, let's put tubing in, and then maybe I can do that, put a little like breast cancer ribbon just on the corners. So make sure my butt ain't hanging out. You don't want to see that mess. Oh good God, hold on. I gotta move the computer. Let's just close you up. Let's close this drawer because it's all the way down at the bottom here. Alright, now into this. So we have red tubing. I think would be cool. And now I'm going to make a mess all on my floor. Who cares? I can clean it up. I got black tubing. Sorry for the crunchiness. And maybe we could just do this like that, instead of doing a bow. See, I put my tubing. Somebody told me about this one time. Because you know, you put it in these mesh bags and they're like 1 million. So you can wrap it, take some of these old, you know, the old spool that you're not using. Oops, sorry. And you can use that to put your tubing on. Trick of the day. Hey, Kathy. Either the mountain. Yeah, okay, got it. So this, that unraveled pretty quick. Let me see. This one's how long? This one's about 13 inches. If we just do that, so let's do 13. Let's try 13 inches. Now don't pull these as you're cutting it because it will, you know, the elasticity will go back. And just a thing like that. Just a simple little thing. And let's put that in. I'm going to start on the outside. I don't know. I may like a bow better. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you 2 ways. And then you guys vote. I don't know if the genius. So let's see if a bow looks better, or if we want to do it the other way. And you can alternate black, red, but I think I like the two colors together. Alright, let me fix the ribbons. I'm not going to cut this one because I want you to kind of see. Alright, hopefully you'll be able to see because I know it may be far away. Which I'm going to unravel all of things. Alright, so this one here, I'm going to part it so you can see it. Let me know if you can see it or not. If not, I can move closer. So this one here has just like the breast cancer type one. This one, am I going the right way? This one here is a bow. Can you see it? Didn't I get wet today? I don't know, it's not standing out as much as I thought it would. You know, the bow. Okay. The bow. Maybe if I add the white in. Oh, I just got that white today. So hold on, maybe that might help bring it out. Sorry for the crinkle sound. Now I do have, it's like a jute. It's still called deco tubing. So here I'll show you the difference. Oh, that's tied up there. So when you think of like jute, I call it like cord. But see the difference, the deco tubing, this one has all the sparkles in it. This has no sparkles. No, I don't like that with that. I think we'll do the sparkles. Maybe add some white in it, and that might make it. I know it needs something. Maybe just 4 little bows here in the corner, and then put the deco tubing in between that. Hey Cheryl, how are you? I'll put you over here. Maybe that, so that way I can use. Down here. Let's see. Let's see how we're going to do this. What if we do, let's see, red and black, red and gray. Ooh, that might be a good combination. I have a bigger check, I thought, too. Polka dots? No. Let's try this. We're just going to make a quick hand bow. And we're going to see how this works, y'all. This is like what I like it. Design on the fly. And I don't want this to be a big bow. So what if we just did, even just the red bow looks kind of cool. But it needs bones. You have to have bones. Okay, making bow 101. You can overlay it. There's different ways you can do this. So we just do a bow like this. Let's bring this down. Now the tails won't be as long, needless to say. Let's see how this looks. Whoops, get back in there, bow. You know what? I kind of like just the red. Okay, I'll hold this up so you guys can see. If I can do this. I like the red. So if we put a bow in each corner, not as big, I think a little bit smaller. And this is to give you guys an idea to see what it looks like. And I'm not going to have tails long like that. You guys can't see really if I hold it like that. stick a tube in on me. I hate this thing doing that. Can you guys see that? Can you guys get the gist of that? I like the red. Although I want bones in here, I do like the red. I think the red, just in the four corners, just a simple little bow. I can make it with just little tails. And then maybe you take this one. Come here. This is so hard when you're trying to hold the bow and do it at the same time. We can do something like that in the middle. Let's do the bows first, because I think I can maybe overlay that in the middle. I do like it with just the red. I don't know about the red bones though, the red paws. I like it too. The red just, I don't like the black and red paws though, because that's too dark. I like that. I like it with, look, I got ribbon all over the place. I like this red with it. I don't know why. Who knew? Bend down and ribbon. Whoops. Let me undo this baby here for a sec. Let's put the bows in the corners. So I have four corners here. I want to make sure I have four corners. All right, bow making. Let's put this over here. We're going to make 4 bows. 4 easy bows. I could use this. I could do this on the bow dabber. I don't want this. Like, oh, okay. I just had to be pushed down. I was like, my pegs are too wide. Just push them down again. All right, so I don't need a very long tail on that. I like the bandana. Ooh. See? Oops. Garbage pail is hidden. Ribbon all over the place. So let's say, I just want a little one. So let's say this is about almost 5 inches, the tail. But I just want it to be a little bow. Little bow. We're going to do 3 inches. So that will make it actually a 6-inch bow. I think that's cute. I think that would be cute, y'all. Oh, I could do this all in one. Why did I bring that out? So what I'm just going to do right now is I'm just going to make them all on top of this one, and then I'll pull them all off individually just to make it go a little quicker. We have such great ideas together. Who knew? You know, it's like when you're designing a room, you would know about that, right? And you have one thing in your head. Like, for instance, my room was gray, my master bedroom already, and I kind of was like, oh, I don't want gray again. But you know, it's a good color, because it's, I say the word like a neutral color. It goes with the stuff I have, and I was the one that picked out I picked out the flooring. Before I even met with the contractor, I went to a flooring place to kind of look around and stuff like that. And so I picked out a flooring, a tile, and stuff like that. I brought it home to kind of get, you know, an idea to kind of lay out and see if my husband liked it too, you know, and stuff. So when I showed the builder, he liked everything. He only liked the floor. He liked the tile on the wall and stuff like that. But the concept of where I was going, it also kind of gave him an idea of what I wanted. How many bows I got? I got 3. So we get one more. And so when him and I went to the place, because I knew where he was going to take me, we went and he goes, I really like that floor you had. I said, so did I. And it's like, the floor is like a long tile, but it looks like wood, and it was like a dark gray color. Look at that, we made 3 bows. Now, my idea with this is this. Let's take one bow out. Okay. And I'm going to stick it in here for a second. And then where did my little gray stuff go? See, I don't leave it. Look, it's hanging on a cord like a clothesline over there. All right, so let's dovetail this one. So here's my idea. Take the ribbon. We're going to see if we like this. I put it around my finger and then I twist it once and I gather it because I kind of want it so both you can see it. We're going to see if this will work. If we like it, for that matter. May not like it. Looks like a little babushka. I don't like it. Ugly. We're just going to stick with bows. My idea didn't work. But this idea should work. Now I have 4 corners, so I'm going to take this, oops, come back bow, and I'm going to put this right in the twist tie that's right by that corner. And you know what might look nice with this now? Would be just the deco tubing, the black, maybe black and white, because you have the red on here. I saw my one tail got kind of big on the one side. There we go. What happened, Bo? Hold on. There we go. And maybe put the black tubing in here. Do it as a bow. This is going to be a small bow. Let me see how I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh my gosh, look. Oh my gosh, we got it, girls. We got it. Yeah, I like trying, like I said, different things. But look at how this goes, y'all. Y'all. Hold on, let me get the ribbon. This looks cute. Where's the black one? Oh my God. Oops. There, look at the one below. But can you see that? Look at that one. Tell me what you think. Whoops. Can you see it? I don't know if I should tilt it down. See, the black pops on the red. I like that. What do you guys think? Honest opinion. Oop, I gotta dovetail this other side. I like it too. So see, here's one thing I probably would never have thought of on this. It's because I already had the, what do you call it, the bandana on there. I probably would have thought of something more of a contrasting color. But I actually like it. And that's a cute little bow. It's just a tiny little one. I wonder how big that was. Is that my 13 inch? Yeah, that's my 13 inch. And what I do with these is I take them, I just fold it enough so it crosses in the middle, and then I poof it down. That's my bow. That's all it is. Now you can make the tails of the bow bigger, you can make your bow bigger, but I want this just to be a little thing in the middle of that. Oh, I like that. Oh my God. Thank you, Linda. See? Put you away. Alright, so black it is. So we need 3 more of this, cut at 13 inches. 1, 2. Oops. I usually have my bow dabber out and I stick this in the bow dabber. And 3. And look, See how it looks like it's flat in there? You know, when you get the tubing, sometimes it's like flat like that. If you just take it and squish it together, kind of like a slinky, and I just squish it and worm it, then look, it's all back together. Alright, so let's do another bow. Oh, I like it like that. Okay. Let's put you in here. Here, bow. There we go. And I'm going to tighten up the sign. Move sign, let me get the tube, the tie. I do like that. And again, just cross it halfway, you know, just enough so you can tie it in the middle and make your little bow loops. There we go. I like this. Babies, great minds, great minds. Like I said, I'll be here all day doing fluffing. I like it better when I put it on my wreath stand because, or sometimes I'll put it on my front door because that's where I take my pictures because it's the black front door. And everything seems to show up pretty good on the black door. I don't know why. Everything just seems to pop better, in my opinion. Other people may have their own opinions, but that's my opinion. Ooh, I like that. It's just a little thing there. I like it like that. Now, I could have made a bigger bow and it could cross more of the cover on here. I just like a little bow. Sometimes a little is more than the doing something so big. And I'll hold this up again for you guys. Don't worry. Let me just get these bows in here. Get in there, bow. Move the sign since I have to tighten that down. This is cool. And the red. Oh. Can you tell I'm happy? I'm like a kid. Nonna's Nut House. Here we are. And it's like hard. What color would you bring? I have another sign over here, and it's white with black lettering. And I have this, what do you call it, bandana in, so many other tails, in a blue. Maybe I could do a blue. We can make this the girl one, the other one can be boy one, you know. Tie that a little bit tighter. There we go. Oh, deco tubing. Deco tubing, almost forgot. So busy fluffing the bow, I forgot about my tubing. Come here, tubing. Cute. I think I may do tubing, maybe on the inside, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But I just like the pop of the tubing. And all these chenille stems that are standing up that I'm not putting anything in, you know, later on, what I do is I curl them down. Just because I don't like them sticking up. It's just a me thing. And that's good, they're happy. I'm glad. Listen, after all these days with the construction, little things can make me happy, but this is a happy moment. It's like when you do a wreath sometimes, like I did one wreath, and I know earlier this year, I think it was, and I did it, yeah, it was earlier this year, and I did it, and I was like, oh, this looks cool, and after I got off the live, I looked at that wreath, and I said, that is one ugly wreath. And I know I came back on, and I told you guys, I said, I made the ugliest wreath for you guys last night. It was horrible, and I apologize, because that's just me. It wasn't good. I took the entire wreath apart, redid it a different way, and liked it better the way I did it. I didn't use the same sign though. I still have that sign to use, but it was just one of those things. I wanted to use this one type of mesh the whole time, and because I was so like headstrong with that I didn't look at the big picture, you know. And then when I did it, I was just like, oh good God, people were probably going, ew. But that happens, you know. My taste may not be somebody else's, or my taste may be horrible. But you know, it is what it is. You know, you work it out, you figure it out, you redo it, and then it works out. All right, y'all. So that's the 4 corners. Actually, do you think I should just put a bow on just all the inner circle? What do you guys think? All right, don't look at all the ribbon tails because I mushed them all up again. But I'll show you it. I'll hold it up, and you guys tell me. Maybe do the whole inside with the bows, with the deco tubing. What do you guys think? Honest opinions. So you can see the 4 corners. And what do you think? Just do the whole inside with the bow, with the mesh? I do like the bows. The red really pops it on it too. Just like it is, Janet? Just leave it the way it is, y'all? Okay. Okay, I'll go with the flow. Just the bows at the 4 corners. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Gotcha, y'all. Let me get my handy dandy green pencil out. And I twist tie these just a little bit more. I do this, like I've said before, not that pipe cleaners come undone, but sometimes, you know, you pick it up and move it around so much that they do come undone. So I twist them a couple of extra times, and then I take the pencil and just curl it down. And that way also people, you know, the pipe cleaners kind of jab you in the fingers, you know, kind of thing. So I don't want to do that. Okay, 4 it is. 4 it is, not down the top. I do. I think that's kind of cute. And I'll probably look at this after I get off the live and go, oh. Because I do that. I think we all do that. You kind of put it up and say, hey, sometimes I'll be up late making a wreath, like late at night, and I'll get the whole wreath done, and I'm like, it comes down to the bow, and I'm like, Carolynne, stop there. Do the bow tomorrow. Because sometimes you get so wound up doing the thing, and then you get tired, and you pick out ribbons and stuff that, you know, don't look as pretty. So I usually leave the bow for tomorrow. No, you won't. You love this one. Tana, that's right. I said I love this one because I like the way the bows came out. So now it's like, oh, should I do bows all over the place? You know, you start doing that and like, oh, you know. I do like this one. I don't hate it. I do love this one. I think it's kind of cool. I think the red just adds that little, you know, pop to it instead of just being all black and tan. And even though the sign is only 2 colors in it, you know, it's just, you know, the brown and tan. So I got the brown and tan in the jute, and the paw prints, of course, are in the ribbon, and then the red just to give it some pop and color, and the black, you know, you can use anything. Use herringbone. Use a chevron. So it's just up to you what you want to use. But it has all the colors, and it's only 2. It has a little bit light beige and dark brown. But like I said, I got the 2 colors right here in the mesh. And then everything else is kind of like ad lib. You know, have fun with it. Be creative. Throw things out. And I had pulled this one out the other night to do, was it 2 nights ago? Sunday. I pulled this sign out and the other sign. And I was like, oh, you know. But it was a request to do the corals. And I didn't want to do corals with this. You could do ruffles with this if you want to. And I think the other one will do something different. Let me show you the sign. This is right here. This one's a different saying. I'm going to take it out of the bag because I hate the tinkly stuff sound. It says, forget the dog, beware of kids. So, now see, if I put that one in here, look at the difference. So see how that sign, I think, pops more? I'll use that word. Now, because I used the white ribbon in here, the white paw prints, it drowns this out. This doesn't really pop as good. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on the thing. But I would do the reverse. I would use the black and red ribbon on this one. You know? And maybe even do a different color mesh. I could use the, you know, bring in this one, which has the tan with the red on it. So, you know, it just, you could do whatever. I like the white. I like the white. I mean, you could I could do the same thing and do it with the white. Because, you know, it has the black with the white. I got the white with the black on the paw prints here. But I could change it out to make it, you know, if I wanted to do it, you know, with the red paw prints. See how the darker color makes it kind of like a yin and a yang kind of thing. Then it really makes the white plaque, you know, really pop. So, yeah. So it's kind of cool. And, you know, I got a lot of ribbon. So maybe I'll do this other one for you guys. And maybe, because this, I have it in a blue. I don't know if the blue would go good with this. But, you know, and then for sure we'll use the bones. I don't have bones. Oh, I can't believe I didn't use my bones. And I got a cat one too. Cat one to do. We can do a cat one. I don't have a sign for it, so that may be just, I haven't found a cat sign. I got the ribbon, but I don't have a sign. Or a cat of any type to put in it. So, but all the ribbon today, just I should have told you guys, this one here, the bandana came from Craft Outlet, Hobby Lobby. The paw prints came from Deco Exchange. So this is Deco Exchange, Craft Outlet. The black and white check is Hobby Lobby. The jute, Cuban, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or I bought it online. There, you know, from Craft Outlet. The sign came from the Christmas tree store. The jute you can get anywhere. The pipe tubing, you can get that anywhere. So maybe I'll do the white one. Just, you know, since I got one dog one, might as well do the other one, you know. Oops. So we kind of, then maybe you guys can see the two of them. But like I said, this is in my shop already. It has a big Facebook Live. If anybody wants to go ahead and purchase it, go right ahead. I have boxes. I can ship it out. Can get it out to you tomorrow. And I'll go ahead and finish up this, tighten up the sign. So you guys don't have to sit around and watch all that boring stuff, because the good stuff is kind of done. I do like my jute. I do like my little bows. Look, I crushed this one already, putting the sign on top of it. Carolynne, what a mess. And I will take pictures tomorrow when it's light out, so you guys can see it that way too. But you guys kind of know what it is like right here. Hey Donna, how are you? Donna, we just got finished. Look, we did 4 little corners with bows, a little deco tubing in there. So I got to fix the tails because I keep squishing them all over the place. And I will see you guys next time on Nonnas Nutty Crafts. And like I said, like and share. If you don't get notifications normally from me, hit anywhere on the screen. And up at the top, you'll see 3 little white buttons. And you'll just hit the notifications there. Or type alert down below. And you will go ahead. Thanks, Carolynne. Rosie will send you a message. And make sure you type alert in that messenger part. Oh, thank you. Good night, Tanya. All right, you guys have a nice evening. Bye-bye.